little bit of a news roundup for you today. This is a David Moyes free zone. For as much as we can, we won't mention that stuff. Certainly not about his future and all that sort of stuff. We'll leave that. We've actually got some stories to get our teeth into. We've got a story about some genuine interest in Divin Mubama, who of course is not going to sign a new contract at West Ham, or there's certainly a stalemate as at the point of recording this video. And there's also some interest from us in a Brazilian midfielder, and for anybody that saw that Brentford game, you know, you'll certainly know that the understudies, as it were, in central midfield are probably not going to cut it. So we could do with another central midfielder. We'll get to that in just a bit. The thing I want to talk about more than any other is not really a headline grabbing subject, but I think it's possibly the best news that West Ham have had, certainly this season. You can't say last season because we won a trophy, but you know what? So did they, because we won the FA Youth Cup. A lot of that FA Youth Cup winning team, we were largely comprised of under-18s and now playing in the under-21s. I just make that point. Our under-21s is packed full of 17 and 18-year-olds. And they appear to be pretty much the best team in the country. They're second at the moment in Premier League 2, but I don't overly want to talk about it. I want to talk about this EFL trophy. Now, I will apologise if you've heard me do this spiel before, but not everybody watches every video, of course. So I just want to make this point and tell you what the EFL trophy is. The EFL trophy is an opportunity for clubs with what's called a Grade A academy, which, like West Ham do, to participate in competition against senior teams and teams from Leagues 1 and 2 in the EFL trophy. I think it used to be called a Johnson's Paint Trophy, something like that. The name's different now, but it's the EFL trophy. This is really, really important because it's an opportunity for young players, under 21 players, to face grown men, basically, who I don't know why I said chiseled, but you know, gritty grown men who are used to playing twice a week in professional football in League 1 and League 2. And West Ham are flying, absolutely flying. But I must stress this point. It's not even just our under-21s. Our under-21s is significantly lower, has a lower age than most other under-21s. They won 4-0 last night. And it's not that they've had 3 games in the EFL Trophy. They've won them all. Beat Bristol City 4-1. We beat Newport, it was only last week, I think, 1-0, something like that. And last night we beat Cheltenham away 4-0. I say again, these are professional football clubs. And what's been really interesting is some of the comments that have been made about the players. Or if you go on the forums, go on the Bristol City forum, go on the Newport forums, go on the Cheltenham forums. There's a couple of them. I mean, I remember one of the Bristol City fans saying this mob would cane it in League 1. Was this mob meaning West Ham under-21s? There's certainly an opinion that West Ham's under-21s would thrive at that level. And actually, West Ham's under-21s are better. Well, they're proving it. Are better than the majority of teams down at that level. That really is something, particularly given their age. And I know maybe there's a tendency to think, well, hold on a second. Surely any under-21 academy, Grade A academy, would be able to beat League 1 and League 2 teams. It's not the case. When I looked at the fixtures in the EFL Trophy last week, I think Man City had lost, Man United had lost, Tottenham had lost. There were others that I've got like encyclopedic knowledge of it. But West Ham are top of the group. 3 games played, 3 games won, 9 points, obviously. It's absolutely amazing. Last night, Callum Marshall scored again. It's 18 goals for the season. He's just too good for this level, isn't he? Something needs to be done with him in January. But it's not just him. A lot of the team are playing well above their contemporaries. It's amazing. Earthy scored it. That was a deflected goal from Earthy. Not that it matters particularly because, again, he is such a talented player and someone that is, I'm absolutely adamant, is going to thrive at West Ham if given the chance, of course. Divin Mubama scored as well. And a lot has been made about him dropping down to play in that under-21 game. Not as much has been made about Ben Johnson dropping down to play in that under-21 game, by the way. He was the one that bucked the trend in terms of the age. But it's worth remembering, Mubama is still, I believe he's only 19. He's not even 20 yet, so he's still very, very young. I don't know. Maybe David Moyes is... Oh, damn, said it. But not in that context. Maybe David Moyes wants to get a little bit of game time in their legs. You know, you'd sort of hope so on that one. We'll get to Mubama in a minute because he's been linked with a move to Watford. Finally, the last goal was scored by Ollie Scholes. Dan Chester's nearly scored as well. Our 2 wing backs, as they're really playing very advanced, are sensational. They're midfield, in central defence. We're really good. We've got a really good goalkeeper as well, by the way. Forwards, wide players. Kadua is a really good player. there's some real talent down there, real talent, and it's hard to argue that this isn't. Have I got it right? I don't want to do double negative. It's basically, I would argue. I get myself all caught up then. I would suggest this is the best crop of young players we've had in a very, very long time. Statistically, it may even look like the best. That's how good it is. Right, okay, let's get on to Divin Mubama. Watford are interested. Watford are interested. They're interested in bringing him in January, by the way. And that's, well, he's not signing a new deal. Big standoff, isn't it? A big stalemate between West Ham and Mubama. Now, somebody did report that he was seen deep in conversation with Tim Steidten at one of the games recently. I don't know. I just don't know. There's so many rumours and sort of counter rumours around West Ham at the moment. But when I say I don't know, I don't know about the conversation with Steidten. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. But there's certainly a lot of people reporting that Watford, who are in need of a goal scorer, apparently have been playing reasonably well. It's something like they haven't lost in 5 or 6 games or something like that, but they can't score goals. I don't know. I don't know how true that is, but there you go. There's the link. It's in the news. So I present you with that news. So the other bit of news is a guy called Andre from Fluminense. Apparently West Ham have sent scouts out to watch this guy, and I couldn't tell you anything about him. Before this morning, I knew nothing about him at all. I've done a little bit of research myself, had a look at a few clips. Versatile player, box-to-box midfielder. He's become a box-to-box midfielder, but he's also played at centre-back as well. And I just couldn't help but thinking, I'm not sure how true any of these rumours are, because we're looking forward, we're going to have to sign some British-based players, some homegrown players. We're going to have to do that. That doesn't mean there's no interest in this guy. And certainly when I was looking at it in terms of the Brentford game, we really missed Alvarez. It's amazing how quickly we've grown to miss him. And it was really interesting watching Declan Rice the other day. Not against us when he came as a substitute, funny enough. It was in Arsenal's game against Newcastle. I watched a bit of that, and he's just such a good player. I actually thought he was I thought he was Arsenal's best player, even though they lost to Newcastle. I don't know if you watched the game. I thought he was really good. And we sort of haven't missed him because Alvarez has been playing, and Alvarez doesn't do the same job, but he guards the defence, and that's absolutely fine. When we don't have Alvarez, I think it's more pronounced that we've missed Declan Rice. I don't think you get that performance against Brentford if we got Declan Rice there. We're still capable of losing against Brentford with Declan Rice in the team, as we've demonstrated multiple times. But I wouldn't disbelieve a rumour that suggests we might be interested in a midfielder who's also very, very adept at defending. Don't forget, Edson Alvarez was a centre-back before he was coached into being a midfielder. So, hey, maybe some truth in that, maybe not. I don't know. We definitely got scouts out in Brazil. That much is true. We've got a scouting network out there. So, who knows? Who knows whether that's true or whether it isn't? Maybe it is. But I do get the impression that I feel a little bit more buoyed in terms of this transfer stuff, because we do know we've got a director of football who's going to start plucking these players out of obscurity. I think there was a time when maybe you couldn't believe some of this stuff, particularly Brazilian players. We now know Tim Steidten's in charge of transfers, and we know from his time at Leverkusen that he heavily scouted the Brazilian market. So don't rule it out. Don't discount it. There you go. A little bit of news roundup. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, we've got a game tomorrow.